Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. I'm your girl Markeisha. This is Manifest with Markeisha, and I want to thank you so very much for joining me today. This is the space where I challenge your mindset, push past your limitations, and speak words of encouragement to empower you. It is my passion and privilege to help you elevate your self-concept, remove outdated beliefs, and step fully into the highest version of yourself. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Today, I want to clear up one of the biggest misconceptions keeping people stuck, drained, and running on fumes. Today's episode, I want to call The Truth About Self-Love. Here's the bottom line, guys. Self-love is not arrogance. It's not vanity, and it's not selfishness. Self-love is alignment. If you don't understand how to truly love yourself, you will never be able to love others in a healthy way. You'll stay trapped in illusions, toxic cycles, and running on a hamster wheel, constantly doing and never actually growing. See, many of us, to include myself, especially those who grew up in the church or in households that glorified self-sacrifice, were taught this distorted version of love. We were told that loving means erasing ourselves. But of course, they didn't use that word. We were conditioned to tolerate mistreatment and keep quiet for the sake of peace. But when you really study the word, the greatest peoples weren't celebrated because they lost themselves. They were celebrated because they stood in truth, set boundaries, and they honored their own calling. Let's go down the list, shall we? Noah, he wasn't applauded for letting everybody on that ark. Most people be like, oh, well, that's not the loving thing to do, to not let everybody on the ark. He was honored because he protected his assignment with the Most High, even if that meant shutting the door on people who mocked him. Abraham, he didn't stay in what was comfortable and familiar because it was family. No. His greatness came when he left his father's house, and he loved himself enough to step into the unknown. What about Ruth? Ruth wasn't honored because she gave in to hopelessness. She fought for her future and aligned herself with purpose, even when it wasn't the easy choice. Moses, let's talk about good old Moses. You think he was chosen because he played it safe? No. He loved himself enough to embrace his true identity, and he demanded freedom for his people. Esther, she wasn't celebrated because she stayed silent from fear. She loved herself enough to risk her life, declaring, if I perish, I perish. Last person I want to bring up is Daniel. He definitely wasn't favored because he blended in. He stood apart, refusing to compromise his integrity, even under pressure. So what do we see here? What's the common thread? Real love is not about diminishing yourself. Real love is rooted in self-respect, in alignment, and in courage. The Bible doesn't glorify those who lost themselves because they were trying to please others. It highlights those who loved him first and then themselves enough to take a stand. Let's talk about what self-love actually is. See, when we talk about loving yourself, I'm not talking about that arrogance. I'm not talking about the ego. I'm talking about deep, authentic love. The love that protects your peace, keeps your heart open, but yet guarded with wisdom, refuses to let your wounds become your master, and rejects other people's projections and their limitations. Not to mention, it honors your feelings and your desires unapologetically. That's the kind of love that frees you. It's not loud. It's not performative. It's rooted. But here's where it gets tricky. We live in a culture that has flipped love or self-love into a costume. You know, the type of love that says, oh, I love me. I don't care what you think. But right after that, They jump into surgeries, masks, filters, and endlessly chasing validation. Real self-love is not about fitting in while claiming to be standing out. It's not about performing confidence while secretly craving approval. Real love is authenticity. It's walking boldly in who you are. No apologies, no masks, no performances. Let's bring that down to earth, shall we? What does self-love actually look like on a day-to-day basis? It looks like boundaries. Saying no when your spirit says no and refusing to feel guilty about it. It looks like accountability. Not letting people mishandle you and then calling it love. It looks like wholeness. Doing the healing work so old wounds no longer dictate your choices. It looks like authenticity. Refusing to shrink, shapeshift, or water yourself down just to gain approval. Listen to me. Real self-love isn't flashy. It's all about freedom. Here's what I want you to remember. Self-love, again, it's not selfish. It's sacred. You can't pour from an empty cup. You cannot give authentic love to others when you don't even know how to honor it yourself. Boundaries don't block love, they protect it. And authenticity doesn't repel people. It reveals the ones who are truly meant to walk with you. I want to make this a short one, but as usual, I want to leave you with the reflection for this week. Take some time to sit with these questions I'm about to ask. Number 1, where in your life are you confusing self-neglect with love? Number 2, where have you allowed people unlimited access to your peace, your energy, and your heart? Number 3, what one boundary, one authentic choice that you can put in place this week to practice self-love? And remember, every time you honor yourself, you give others permissions to meet you at that same level of authenticity. That's all I have today, guys. If this message stirs something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend. Send it to someone you know is struggling. Help spread the truth about self-love. And remember, when you walk in true self-love, you don't just free yourself, you free others to rise into their own authenticity. Until next time, keep believing, keep growing, and keep loving yourself.